All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're breaking down a really powerful protocol for rewiring your brain. This is based on a ton of research into how to beat modern addictions and get your focus back so you can live a life that actually feels, well, real. So here's the game plan. First, we're going to look at what's actually happening inside your brain, the physical problem. Then we'll walk through 5 concrete ideas designed to fix it. By the end of this, you're going to have a clear step-by-step plan to take back control. Each of these ideas builds on the last one, so let's jump in. Okay, first things first, we have to understand what's going on in our own heads because this is so important. The damage we're talking about isn't just a feeling. It's not a metaphor. It is physical. To put it simply, your brain just gets used to being hammered with constant, intense stimulation. And that overload makes your dopamine receptors less sensitive. They kind of get burned out. This is the real scientific reason why everyday things, like a conversation or a walk or a good meal, why they might just stop feeling enjoyable. Your brain's baseline for what feels good has been artificially cranked way, way too high. So, if the damage is physical, that leads to the big question, right? How long does it actually take to heal? Let's turn to the research and see what it says about the timeline for recovery. According to the research, this is the benchmark. It takes about 90 days for your brain's dopamine system to really start to recover and get back to a healthier baseline. Now, of course, that's an approximation, everyone is different, but this is the point where real, lasting change starts to happen. Now, this is really interesting. Think of it as a friendly warning. Those first couple of weeks can feel absolutely terrible, and that's because your brain is literally in withdrawal. It hasn't healed yet, so it's totally understandable to struggle. But you gotta remember that pushing through that initial phase is how you get to the good part on the other side. And this brings us to a huge mistake that trips up almost everyone. We try to rely on pure willpower to fight off our urges. But there's a much smarter, more effective way to approach this. This idea, which is famously broken down in the book Atomic Habits, is a complete game changer. You don't need more willpower. You need a better environment. Think of willpower like your phone's battery. It just drains as the day goes on. Your environment, though, is working for you or against you 24/7. And by the way, this includes your social environment, too. Having people around you who support your goals makes a massive difference. So the key is to be strategic about this. It means you actually delete the distracting apps. You don't just hide them in some folder. It means you install website blockers. It means you physically move the game console out of your bedroom. The whole goal is to make the good choices the easy choices, the path of least resistance. But here's the thing. Just getting rid of a bad habit isn't quite enough. Your brain is going to feel that empty space because it's still craving the reward it got so used to. And this just nails the core of the problem, right? You can't just leave a big vacuum where that instant hit of dopamine used to be. Your brain will find a way to fill it, so you need to be the one who decides what to fill it with. Okay, let's walk through this. First, you have to be really honest with yourself. What were you actually getting from that old habit? Then, find a replacement that gives you a similar but healthier reward. The key here is to pick something that's right for you, something that's challenging and gives you a sense of progress. The source mentions things like training, building a business, or learning a skill, like chess. The reward has to feel earned. All right, let's see how this builds. Even when you have a new habit and you've redesigned your environment, temptation can still hit. This next idea is all about making that possibility a lot less likely by raising the stakes. Just take a second and really think about that. Right now, if you relapse, what does it actually cost you? For most of us, it's probably just a little bit of guilt, maybe feeling disappointed in ourselves. To break a really powerful habit, the consequence has to be more immediate and a lot more painful. The goal here is brutally simple. You add so much friction to relapsing that your brain just does the math and decides the urge is not worth the cost. You can use apps that will literally send your money to an organization you despise if you fail. Or you can create social stakes by telling a mentor or a friend you respect. The desire to not let them down is a powerful, powerful motivator. This brings us to the final and maybe the most important mental shift you need to make right from day one. It's all about how you frame this challenge in your own mind. This is so true. The moment you tell yourself, I'm quitting this forever, your brain just goes into panic mode. Forever feels huge, impossible, overwhelming. And that feeling is often what leads us to fail before we even really get started. So here's the strategy. You reframe the entire challenge. You are not fighting a lifelong war today. Your only job is to win this week. That's it. 7 days, your brain can handle a week, and once you win that round, you graduate to the next one. These small, achievable wins build momentum, and they build self-belief. You can do this, 1 week at a time. So, to bring it all together, here are the 5 core concepts we covered. And this isn't just a random collection of tips, right? It's a complete system, from understanding the physical damage in your brain all the way to using these psychological frameworks to make success manageable. And that leaves us with one final thought. Forget about forever. Just focus on the next 7 days. What is the one real, concrete change you could make to your environment right now that would make winning this first week just a little bit easier?